Welcome to Module 3. You have finished the first module, taking the exam, and you're now moving along. So congrats on that. That's the first big one. This one's 4 weeks. It's 1 week shorter. The next one will be 5 weeks. And this one is all about categorical logic and Venn diagrams, things of that nature. Categorical logic essentially tries to take every statement and move it into categorical statements. Categorical statements are basically statements about categories, like all dogs are canines. No dogs are felines. These are categories. They're what we would call, the first one is a categorical statement of type A, and the other one is one type E. We learned that in our square of opposition. But essentially, that's a statement that says, every member of the category of dogs is also part of the category of canines, and no member of the category of canines is a member of this. There are also claims like some dogs are this, some dogs are not that, and those are kind of what we call particular versions of those. Those are talking about specific members within the categories or classes. So what happens is this is all about learning how to put language into these categorical statements. And then once you do that, once you begin to put statements together with other items that are in those same categories, you begin to draw inferences from it. And we use things like a square of opposition, we use Venn diagrams, and we use rules that we apply to things like syllogisms. A syllogism is a logical format in which you have two premises and one conclusion. You have two premises, one conclusion. You can't have three premises, you can't have one premise, you can't have four. You can do that in another argument, but not in a syllogism. A syllogism is always two premises, one conclusion. And there should always actually be in categorical logic, the subject and the predicate should be in, one of them should be in one of the premises and the other one should be in the other premise, and there should be what's called a middle term that connects them. And so that's what a syllogism is. And if you can break things down and you can apply some rules to them about a set of 5 Boolean and Aristotelian rules, then you can actually determine their validity. You can also do it with Venn diagrams. You can actually learn certain techniques, but those are all basically what we do in order to determine validity using categorical logic. Most people, as a start, I think I like categorical logic, but I think as people get into further into Venn diagrams and you begin to get all these circles and begin to learn rules about how you have to place your statements and things like that, it can become very technical. This is one of the modules where you really should take the time to go through all the homework carefully. If you're having trouble, do some of the book homework, do some of the problems there, check your work, and make sure you're doing it right. If you have questions, come and see me, but this is one where it can become a little bit more difficult. Some people consider this one of the harder modules. I guess it's all dependent. I think that some of the material at the very end is difficult. I think sometimes people find like all the fallacies and the types there is difficult. So everybody has a different part, but I will say a lot of people find some of this where there's a lot of Venn diagrams and kind of getting into the technical parts. It can become very cumbersome, but the best solution to that is take your time and do lots of work, or do lots of extra work, do lots of extra homework, repeatedly do the problems, because that's the way you'll do well.